Hiya. I wanted to do a video and talk a little bit about me. Um, but it will help. The reason I'm doing it is to help others out there because I went through a horrendous experience which nearly took about a year of my life away about 4 years ago. And I mean, I didn't need to go through it, but it taught me a lot. But what I'm realising, there's women that come to me that are going through the same experience, and just me telling the story of my experience sets them free. Has allowed them to move on. So about 4 years ago, I moved house and I was in an area I didn't know, and a lady contacted me, and this lady was doing the same therapy that I was doing. It was quantum healing hypnosis, which is a Dolores Cannon therapy. Put people under hypnosis, go to past lives, speak to their higher self. So that's what I was doing at the time, and I was also doing reflexology. And she contacted me and asked if I wanted to connect, and I was like, great. She lived half an hour away, and it took a couple of months to actually connect with her, but within that couple of months I started to get attacked by shadowy beings, not just me but my son, and we kind of lived in fear for that time. Those 2 months there would be shadowy beings on the ceiling at night, and they would try to get into the physical body. It was petrifying, and obviously we weren't getting any sleep, so it would affect the daytime. It was awful. It's like, I wish I knew. Couldn't go to the doctors or the police. It was like, I really want Ghostbusters now. But Ghostbusters was just a movie. So yeah, no Ghostbusters. But anyway, 2 months later, I went to go and see her, and I just spilled my beans because I thought, right, she's a fellow weirdo like me. She does quantum healing hypnosis. And in the me telling her everything of what was going on in my life, in my family's life, she said, oh, actually my work colleague he deals with this sort of stuff, and because a child's involved, he'll help you sooner rather than later. So I was like, she said, actually he specialises, because these beings are like shadowy beings, and he actually specialises in these. So I was like, oh my God, the answers to my prayers, thank you so much. So 2 days later I spoke to this guy over the phone, and he told me really weird stuff that I was not in my reality at all. It didn't make really sense to me, but I was like, fair enough. He told me that I was a reptilian. I was like, I'm a bit human, but he said I was a reptilian princess, and I'd come to help change reality and all this bollocks, right? He told me a little bit of help how to get rid of the shadowy beings, but he didn't actually get rid of them. He just told me to put cast iron in my bedroom and hope for the best. Anyway, I stayed in contact with the lady because she was very close to him, and I actually got very involved with them. I ended up working for this guy for free, like volunteered work, because he's quite in the public. He's very in the love and light community, conspiracy stuff. So there was a lot of interest in him, and he had lots of volunteers. And but for me, the attacks got worse and worse and worse, to the point that I was having Dracos attached to me, telling me that I'm going to die on that day. I was just living in absolute fear. And I went from within 6 months to, a semi-okay woman getting on with life, my family, and working, to not being able to work, petrified, struggling to live day to day, like suicidal thoughts, everything. It was horrendous. And the last straw was I was raped by a Draco, and which sounds weird, doesn't it? But it was a horrendous experience, and the next day I was just in a state of hopelessness. I just didn't know which way to go. But obviously, every time I got attacked, I would run to this healer, and it's not a healer. And what he told me, that it was my reptilian husband that came down to have fun with me. That was his explanation of the sexual attack that I had. That was really helpful at the time. Not so. anyway, there was an amazing guy, because this guy, this healer, set up a forum on Facebook. And this forum, there were some amazing people. People would join the forum if they had a session with him, and then they would discuss what ET they were, and if they were a reptilian or a Pleiadian or something along those lines. And anyway, this lovely guy, Amora, set up a psychic protection weekend, and he asked me to go. And I was like, I'm like, I couldn't work at that time because I was in a mess. And he was like, please come, please come. And he gave me a really reduced price, which I'm so thankful for. And that evening I went. It was like in Derbyshire somewhere, a really pretty place. And a lovely girl, Fox, her name is, she came and spoke to me. And I was like a quivering wreck. I mean, I couldn't hold a cigarette properly. I was like shaking like a leaf. And she mentioned the guy, the healer, and said what a prick he was. She knew he was a black magician, which I didn't know at that point. And for some reason, whatever she said to me, I can't even remember the exact words, but it just woke me up. And I was just like, oh my God, like this is the man that I was running to help, but he was the one that was sending all the entities to me, and the black magic and the shadowy beings and everything. He was like the pinnacle of it all, and I was the one running to him, asking for help. And every time I did, I was getting closer to all the shit that he was sending me. And it was just like she opened the prison door for me, which I'm so grateful for. And then the next day there was a psychic, like I said, Amora sat everybody down. There was, I don't know, about 15, 16 people there. And he just turned to me and said, have you got something to say? Not knowing Amora knew what was going on with me, even though I hadn't expressed it. And I just told my story about what had happened in the last 6 months. And there was about 6, 7 ladies there, roughly, who were going through the same experience with this man, this black magician. And then they, bless them, they really helped me, and they cut the cords. And because he was like, he could read my thoughts, he was into my sexual zones and my base chakra, not chakra, but all my sexual energy. And then so they cut the cords, and when they did, the next day he tried to get back in. Like I felt him right at the base of me, and he was like really trying to get in. And I had to fight him, but it took time. And there was an amazing lady, Karen, which I'm so grateful for. She's an American lady and lots of experience, and she helped me through it, because it took a few months after that for me mentally and emotionally to come to terms with what had happened, and I wouldn't have done it without her. So I'm just grateful for everybody who was involved in that and helped me get free from this black magician. And I just wanted to share this story because this seems to happen. This, obviously, I'm not a singular case. I mean, just there were 7 or so women there that were going through similar experiences, and I suspect in the love and light community that you've got people who are portraying themselves as these healers, and actually they're black magicians, and are there to manipulate and abuse where they can through sexual energy. And what I've seen is that this gets twisted into the people, with the twin flame thing, that people think is their twin flame and the love of their life, and more manipulation can happen. So I just want to share that. And also how people get hooked in because of the ego, thinking you're a princess of some sort. And really the whole ET thing of believing you're a Pleiadian or a serious being and everything like that, which I've been fooled. We are there. When I look at the light bodies in the matrix, you've got the female light. We have 2, so we've got the female light body and the male light body, and the male light body creates the different realities, but the main reality that creates which holds the majority of the light body is this reality. It is Earth, it is human life. And then there's tiny little realities in the light body where you're Pleiadian, you're this and that. You don't need to focus on it at all. But you have more power, empowerment here in this reality than anywhere else. It doesn't matter where you are. You don't have to focus on these sort of stuff at all. What's important is this reality, nothing else. It's interesting, but don't. I think people get hooked up into the what ET I am because they want to be something more than they're not, or they don't want it. They're not accepting themselves, or they're running away from themselves, or something. There's something within them that they're trying to be something they're not, and it's not healthy. And you can be highly manipulated because of it. So this reality is the most important of all. You are the most important of all. Don't worry about the rest. Okay, that's my little rant. And yeah, you have a nice day. Take care. Bye.